Yeah, I was definitely seething to some of my pals about the quality of the timeline. It's just crazy, and I do feel like there's a real lack of things to talk about. And I think the left, I think they kind of have a similar problem. I kind of I kind of think there's a bit of a common struggle as far as dissidents on the left or the right. Like certain people who will not be named are like still talking about me like 8 days after CPAC. Like, really? And don't even, yeah. Star Age Reactionary brings up a good point. The whole white people getting beat up thing, that is definitely demoralization. Or another thing that I noticed were these clips of somebody being a complete ass in public. Like some Karen. Karen does something horrible and annoying. And it's like, what is the point of this content besides trying to piss people off and make them antisocial? Like I kept getting these videos of these white women being retarded in public, and I'm like this is making me start to hate people. And I'm like, why are my emotions being hijacked by these people? It's crazy. But I'm going to start hating chat if I don't get a song request. Post haste. All right. So powerchat.live/CultureWarCriminal, or we're going to have a flipping problem. Play Helldivers 2. I probably would like that game. Someone wants to send me a Steam key. That'd be nice. But yeah, I'm just going to get into this article. But we need some music because I'm going to be reading. This is like a freaking novel. All right. So we're going to need some background music while I narrate the article for you. Okay. So this is the Atlantic magazine, published today by Franklin Foer. The golden age of American Jews is ending. It's a hell of a title. Anti-Semitism on the right and the left threatens to bring to a close an unprecedented period of safety and prosperity for Jewish Americans and demolish the liberal order they helped establish. It's an hour and 15-minute narration for this. I don't want to talk. I don't want to read this for an hour and 15 minutes. Do you guys even want me to read this, or should I just gloss over a little bit? I just suddenly like lost all. Yeah, F this, man. Who gives a shit? I mean, look at this. But they do raise some good points that I wanted to highlight. Just look at the pictures. All right. So I guess to summarize, so the author begins talking about some Jewess moves to Berkeley, and after the Israel-Palestine war, they become terrified by walkouts and pro-Palestinian demonstrations on their children's campuses. And that soon gives way to anti-Semitic harassment, and a feeling of persecution that these kids are experiencing, like 10-year-old kids. And even the teachers in the local school district are starting to talk about anti-Zionism, and it's freaking this lady and her family out. And Jews are saying they're hiding visible symbols of their religious affiliation. And then the article goes on to talk about anti-Semitism from the left and how Jews have been a part of the leftist coalition for a very long time. Hey, thanks, Carbonated Man. Oh my, okay, the optics are not... Okay, well... Oh my God. All right, yeah. They're talking about anti-Zionism and how that kind of is ambiguous, ambiguously defined or contrasted with anti-Semitism. For several generations, it worked. All right, here we go. Here's a good one. In the hatred that I witnessed in the Bay Area, and that has been evident on college campuses and in progressive activist circles nationwide, I've come to see left-wing anti-Semitism as characterized by many of the same violent delusions as the right-wing strain. This is not an accident of history. Though right and left-wing anti-Semitism may have emerged in different ways for different reasons, both are essentially attacks on an ideal that once dominated American politics, an ideal that American Jews championed and, in an important sense, co-authored. Over the course of the 20th century, Jews invested their faith in a distinct strain of liberalism that combined robust civil liberties, the protection of minority rights, and an ethos of cultural pluralism. They embraced this brand of liberalism because it was good for America and good for the Jews. It was their fervent hope that liberalism would inoculate America against the world's oldest hatred. For several generations, it worked. Liberalism helped unleash a golden age of American Jewry, an unprecedented period of safety, prosperity, and political influence. Jews who had once been excluded from the American establishment became full-fledged members of it, and remarkably, they achieved power by and large without having to abandon their identity. In faculty lounges and television writers' rooms, in small magazines and big publishing houses, they infused the wider culture with that identity. Their anxieties became American anxieties. Their dreams became American dreams. But that era is drawing to a close. America's ascendant political movements, MAGA on one side, the illiberal left on the other, would demolish the last pillars of the consensus that Jews helped establish. They regard concepts such as tolerance, fairness, meritocracy, and cosmopolitanism as pernicious shams. The golden age of American Jewry has given way to a golden age of conspiracy, reckless hyperbole, and political violence. All tendencies I hate this fucking word, inimical to the democratic temperament. Extremist thought and mob behavior have never been good for Jews. And what's bad for Jews, it can be argued, is bad for America. Okay, then he talks about I grew up at the apex of the golden age. Talks about how Jews like literally ran American culture, utterly dominated. They talk about how Israel gave Jews a sense of pride. Talks about Jonas Salk and Jewish achievements. You guys really should read this article.
$5 in Tucker Carlson.
I just want to see this other part where he talks about the Weimar Republic. Thank you, Carbonated Man. I appreciate it. So they actually talk about the left wing this entire article until like the final quarter. Each spring during the Passover Seder, Jews recite this phrase from the Haggadah. In every generation, our enemies rise up to destroy us. To participate in the most universally observed of all Jewish rituals, a celebration of liberation and survival, is to be reminded of the grim cycle of Jewish history, in which golden ages are moments of dramatic irony, the naive complacency, just before the onset of doom. Some of these moments are within living memory. In 1933, the Central Union of German Citizens of the Jewish Faith published a 1,060-page book meticulously enumerating the achievements of the community. It was quite a list. Weimar Germany is remembered as a period of instability, a time of beer hall putschists, louche cabarets, and rampant assassinations. But Weimar was also the pinnacle of Jewish power. A golden age in its own right, especially if one considers the whole of German culture, which sprawled across borders on the map. That's crazy. That's such a wild thing to say. The Weimar Germany was the pinnacle of Jewish power. Like, are these people retarded?
Gibson, send $5.
Hey, Gibby,
Play
thank
Divers
you.
2 and kill alien bugs who must.
In a river, the color of lead. Immerse the baby's head. Wrap her up in the news of the world. Dump her on a doorstep, girl. This night.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're claiming Weimar. That's crazy to me that they would say that, though.
You kicked and cried like a bully child. A grown man of 25. Oh, he said he'd cure your ills, but he didn't and he never will.
But here's the thing. They they definitely appear to be more, well, they talk more about left-wing anti-Semitism. I think they do fear right-wing anti-Semitism a lot more, but I think they are very uncomfortable with the what they feel is like a stab in the back from the left, because they helped build that leftist coalition. They literally make that point in the article, and they're wondering why, when Jews were marching with MLK and co-founding the NAACP, now this anti-colonial, this anti-racist, this decolonization movement is starting to hurt them. But there's been this debate in our circles for the last few months, especially after the Hamas-Israel conflict has been started. Like the whole left-wing anti-Semitism, I wouldn't call that anti-Semitism at all. It's just a decolonization movement, and I think those on our side that are genuinely trying to find common cause with the Palestinian people and the Palestinian movement are fools. And their logic for opposing Israel, their reasoning for opposing Israel is the same exact reason why they oppose the West and America. And I'm not trying to cuck and say, Israel's based or anything, but I see these hardcore Marxist faggots leading all these anti-Israel events, and then I see people getting all hype about all these communists and third worldists marching through American streets. I'm like, that's not our friends either. Those are the same mobs that a lot of these Jewish activists were leading during 2020 against white America. So I say let them fight, but to think that we have any common cause with these people is retarded. I think it's more like a cope, because the right wing is largely impotent. So we like to cheer on the left as they scare the hell out of the Zionists, because we don't feel like we are capable of doing that.